Hi, this is Lisa from Local King Rubber Stamp. Welcome to my channel. It has been a while since my last video. Okay, so the spring is just around the corner. The tulips and the daffodil, they are just about to blooming. So today I'm going to use the tulips, this combo set, to show you some awesome idea. So the same stamps and the different kind of technique, you can come out with a totally different kind of project. And in this video, I'm going to share with you some great tips, and hopefully you like it. If you do like this video, make sure you give me a thumb up and leave me a comment. Let me know. Okay, so the spring sale is started by the time you're watching the video. So it's 20% off for all the online orders. And yes, that's included on sale item too. And for my YouTube viewers, you always get this 5% extra discount. So make sure you use the Local King YouTube 5 before you check out, and you will receive a 25% off in total. So, and also is free shipping on orders over $100. If you have been ordered for the past few weeks, and you can see on the package that you receive, the shipping price is getting insane. It's getting so expensive. So take the opportunity for our free shipping offer. Okay, so and then what's new? That's pretty much about it. So today we are going to working on these three different kind of project. The first one is pretty easy. What I did is just stamping with a block image, and just a color with the markers. You can use any kind of color markers, Copic markers, water-based marker, watercolor, anything you like. So we are going to do some coloring. And the second one, I'm going to show you how to create this vase. And I don't have, I'm going to use one of my stamp set that have this kind of jar container, and how we can downsize to make the jar become the vase that I was looking for. And also, and the other tip is how you can extending your tulips. So I designed these tulips, and when I stamped out front of these tulips, it doesn't really go with the jar. So I'm going to show you how I extending the stand to make my stand a little bit longer to fit this jar. So I think that's the tip. You don't want to miss it. And the other one is this is a color on the black cardstock. I have been showing a lot of different kind of technique how you can color on the cardstock. You can use like art crafts, those kind of watercolor, paint, the special watercolor paint on for the dark cardstock. You can use Twinkie H2O if you can find some. And what I did is I actually used the mica powder. Have you tried to use your mica powder to color your stamp using the mica powder as a watercolor? If you haven't, make sure you watch this video. If the video is too long, just make sure you can always fast forward, reach the part that you want to learn. Okay, so that's start today's video. And for this black card, actually the color is much prettier in person, but I just tried. It's showing on the. I hope from your end is you can see the beautiful color. It's kind of weird because they like a it's spring, right? The spring is supposed to be like full of the color, but I just want to create something a little bit different. Compare with this one, this is pretty, but it's just like a regular car coloring. So I want to create something a little bit different. Okay, so let's start today's video, and I hope you like it. If you do like this video, make sure you give me a thumb out and leave a comment, so that way I know you are there, and that will encourage me to create more videos. Otherwise, I will be very quiet. Okay, so let's start today's video. Okay, so today's video, actually I get idea when I was kind of creating some stencil. So I have been create a lot of a stencil. I'm still on the testing stage. If you like to know a little bit more, make sure you follow out this channel again, because I'm going to explain to you which material is the best for the stencil if you are into the digital die cutting. So while when I was playing with my stencil, I have some leftover, and this is the material that I using to create the stencil. It called the Mylar, Mylar. It's a great idea. It's a great material to create the stencil. I just have some leftover, and I remember when because the local king's die cut is not just go to outline, they also cut the detail. So and also or die cut does the embossing. You can see a lot of hollow area. So when you want to place the die cut on top of your image, you have to create a guiding window. I've been explaining to inside in my previous video how to create a guiding window. Usually I will ask everybody just grab a piece of cardstock and die cut it, and then use that one as your guiding window. And then while I was creating, and I just see a piece of extra Mylar sitting there, I say, why don't I just use this one? So this is awesome, awesome material because once when you die cut it, it's easy to cut. It's much easier than the acetate. I don't know because the material, because I found out the acetate is actually a piece of plastic. They are kind of resist when you want to die cut it. They don't really have a clean cut. And then for this Mylar, it's actually very easy to cut. You put the die cut, it's kind of crunchy. It's very easy to break out. So it's awesome that if you want to use this one to create the guiding window, and it's kind of transparency, so helping you easy to see where you want to put your die cut. Just like that. And then also after you die cut it, kind of like a click that, so you just kind of drop your die cut, and then it's easier to find the is your die cut at the right place or not. The only thing is once when you do that, you got to make sure you tape your die cut, your Mylar, and then just in case I am going to taping the back too. So what I like to do is that when I do the coloring, I always like to pre-stamp a few of the image, and then because I use the Watercolor Versa Fine Impact, and they take a time to dry, so I like to pre-stamp a few of them, and every time when I need it, I don't have to wait until it dry. So I'm going to cut the 2 or 3 these tulips. I'm going to show you how you can extending your tulips. Okay, so the first part I was share with you guys how to use your leftover Mara sheet to create the guiding window. So with these Mara sheets, you can create a guiding window and you can place your die cut exactly the same spot. And then now, so this is the negative part. Now we are going to use the positive part. If you don't have this kind of material, you can use just a paper, like a piece of scrapbooking paper. They will work just fine too. Okay, so we're going to use this VersaFine Clara, and then I have my watercolor paper here already. So use the smooth side, and then here's a little bit dirty. That's just and this I have been explaining my previous video. Just grab a piece of white cardstock and laminated it, so that way it can protect your table. I used to use like a scrub, like a some paper, but you always end up to have to change the paper. So this is good, easy to clean. So I ink my stamp image here, and I'm going to just I want to create a bunch like a bunch of the tulips, just to make sure give a nice firm press. If you want to use watercolor, make sure you use the permanent impact. Okay, so first one, and then now we're going to use my positive die cut. Okay, like I said, if you don't have this material, you can just use a piece of cardstock. It will do too. And then when you put this tape, be careful. I'll show you what did I do the first video. I put the tape here, and when I stamped the other image, the tape was there, so I actually stamped on the tape by missing part of my image. So make sure you you tape the place that is not going to disturb your image. Ink your stamp again. Want to have a bunch tulips, right? So I'm going to give a nice. These are allergy season. I just can't stop coughing. Now I go outside, people just look at me. She's coughing. Okay, and then see I can stamp my tulips there, and then because this Mylar is a material, so it's very easy to clean. Okay. And then, actually I shouldn't remove it. I can continue because I want to stamp one more in this corner. So you do have to ink your stamp. So this time I want to kind of just have the tulips like these. Okay. Ta-da! That's how I create my bushes. Just like that. Okay, so make sure it's completely dry before you do the coloring. And then what I did is, okay, this is the color one, and we are going to do some coloring. So this is the same idea. What I did, I just using the same black VersaFine Clara ink pack, and then I just do stamp the 3 image, and then I seal with a clear embossing powder. So this part is the same technique. I am going to just fast forward it, so that way or video is not going to end out too long. Okay, so see, it's very easy to clean, and what I'm gonna do is that you just keep your stencil, your die cut, your stamp, everything back to your storage, and then once when you create this guiding window, you can use again and again. Okay, so this is what it look like after I stamping with the VersaFine Clara and the cover with the detail clear embossing powder. I like to use a clear embossing powder for most of my cards because sometimes if the image is too detailed and then you use the color embossing powder, you might lose some detail. But if I use a clear embossing, if some part of the image is missing, you still have your stamp image. Hoping that makes sense. And then I try to stamp some bees image on the top. I don't like it, so I kind of clean it. I'm going to cover with something else. So here is what it look like on the black cardstock with black ink with clear embossing powder. And then we're going to do some coloring. So first of all, we're going to have some water and a fine brush. And then about the color, the paint, there's a few different kind of paint. I usually use a mica color before. Those color is beautiful on the black or darker cardstock, so you can definitely use these. And then you can also, I got these Perlax, beautiful color, isn't it? Haven't used it before, and it's kind of pretty much the same material. It's just a different kind of shape, and you can give a try too. And then I am sure a lot of you guys probably have at least a Perlax powder. So this is what I'm going to use today. I actually bought this one from the internet and from Amazon. I will put the link below. It's a Canadian site. So what you're going to do is you just copy the item and then you paste on the Amazon US and you will be able to find it, and I think probably cheaper. So they come with all the little bottles like this, and all we have to do is just mix with the color, and they have a lot of nice color. Okay, they are the powder shape. And those they are just like the paint. So they are all the same thing. They all work fine. Just use what you have. And then I just, when I purchased those one, I wasn't sure am I able to use it for as a watercolor, but they can do that. I had a few video showing you how to use this mica powder. They call it mica powder. Is also like a Perlax, is all the same material with a different kind of name with a VersaFine, and it works just perfect. So today we're gonna just do the coloring because they have those kind of shimming color. I really think it's beautiful. The original card is showing much better than the camera. Okay, so I was using those kind of silicone mat to coloring, but I found out after you finish coloring, it's really hard to clean your mat. It's doable, but I kind of need to use this glue gun to be able to clean my mat. So, and then I am lazy to do that. So this time, I am not going to use my silicone mat. I'm going to just use acrylic block, okay, do the coloring. And then this paint, it actually come with a few those kind of spoon. You don't need a lot. So I am going to have one reddish color, and I'm going to have one kind of white and the purple, and then that's have some blue, light blue with darker purple. Okay, you can just use just a two color to color all the tulips, but if you want to have a more color, why not? And I'm going to have a little bit green. They like at least two. Basically, I think they are exactly the same. Oh, actually, one is grass green, one is light green. So I'm going to just use the one green, and I'm going to mix with a little bit brown. They don't have too many green color, so I'm going to mix myself darker green. Maybe I tried the darker green instead of brown. So they have how many color? I don't remember. I don't remember how many color, and I don't want to waste the time to counting it. But I will put the link below so you can check it out if you're interested. I am not selling you the mica powder. You can use anything you have that work. Okay, so let's start with the orange and the red first. These allergies really drive me crazy. Itchy eyes, itchy skin, coughing, sneeze, like a non-stop sneeze. Okay, so we only need a little bit. So kind of just use the spoon, pick up a little bit. Orange and a little bit red. And I'm sure this one bottle will last for a long time. Okay, you can use as a paint, and you can use dry powder too. I show you how it work. So let's make sure I clean my spoon and then dry with my clothes. The true artists do that. And then a little bit white, a little bit lavender color, beautiful color. A little bit darker purple. So we all tried the like a watercolor. Everybody know how to do that, so that's why I just want to try this mica powder. And then remember, in one of my videos was to share with you guys, you can seal the mica powder with a hairspray. Work just fine. And then I am going to have two green. Okay, just a little bit. Okay, yeah, I would like to find out, finally this Canadian government is easy the travel restrict, and we are thinking about come to Orlando for the summer STEM fest, and I'm actually thinking about teaching two classes. How many of you are in in Orlando? And if we come, would you come visit us? Leave me a comment, let me know. I would like to find out, because since COVID hit, a lot of the show is just getting so small, and the travel expense is getting so expensive. I'm just wondering if you guys are willing to come to the show floor, visit us, and we are thinking, so far I think 80% we will be there, and they're really missing to go to Disneyland. Not Disneyland, Disney World. Okay, so that's my powders. Okay, and then we are going to just dipping with a little bit water here, not too much. And then you can actually mix it. So I'm going to just mix a little bit water here. And then just pick up a little bit powder. Okay. You want to not too watery, but you got to have enough water, because if you don't have enough water when you paint it, it's going to be too thin. You are not able to see those bright orange color. And then what I do is I always have a napkin handy, and then let me zoom in. Let me zoom in a little bit. Oh, at this moment, don't sneeze. If you sneeze, that will be disaster. All the powder will go away. Okay, so just make sure enough water, but not too wet. Okay, just make sure you really have to blending well. Okay, so we're gonna start one tulip first, and then because we have the embossing, right, so it actually creates some kind of border. It's going to helping coloring much easier. So I kind of just use orange. Okay, and then I'm going to add a little bit red. Okay, watch my palette how I mixing the color just a little bit. Okay, and then when you color on your cards, you don't really have to worry about the detail. So I have a orange and then mix with a little bit red, and now I have a more red. Okay, just like that. Okay, and then once when you finish, kind of blending. That's what it look like. That's the first layer. Okay, and then when you want to change the color, you got to clean your brush first. Okay, the 101 of the watercoloring is that you always have to keep your brush clean. Okay, really clean. Now I'm going to work on the other one, so I'm going to try to the white one. Okay, mix well. Okay, make sure mix well, and then I'm going to find this one. Look how pretty it is. Okay, just make sure not too watery, and then we slowly add a little bit lavender color. Or if you want to just go with a little bit darker purple, okay, got to make sure they mix well. Okay, beautiful, isn't it? And then see when I brushing like a coloring, I kind of just follow the shape of the flower like one direction. Okay, got to make sure enough. Okay, and then darker purple. Same idea. So if you want to use the watercolor on the white cardstock, that's what it look like. Okay, and I'm going to clean my brush. I'm going to try to do the blue. Okay, just make sure you got to, it's kind of like watercolor. Watercolor, you don't use water. You don't call it watercolor. You got to have enough water to be able to do the watercolor. Okay, that's a start with the blue, light blue, and then we can mix the color. We're going to mix a little bit purple. Okay, and then do more darker. Okay, so each flower try to just use one color. Okay, so you can see that I have a blue and the mix with a lippy purple and the purple, and then now we can kind of blink like a brushing it. The trick is like a one direction, kind of hiding the borderline between two color. That's pretty. Okay, in this time I want to kind of do like a red in the purple, so always make sure you clean your brush. Okay, red. Okay, if you don't use enough brush, you will not enough brush. If you don't use enough water, you will find out all the powder is kind of like a create some kind of clump there. So that means you don't have enough water. Just make sure use more water. Okay, so I start with the red. Okay, one direction. If you're not good with watercolor, okay, just try to keep it simple. And then we are going to mix with purple. Okay. Okay. And then be careful here. Just don't put your hand on top of the wet paint. Like this. Now I'm going to clean my brushes. I'm going to use white. Okay, blending well. Use a fine brush. If a brush is too much paint, just use the tissue, kind of remove a little bit. Okay, one direction. Again, now you can see my white color and my purple color is kind of like have a border line. So what you're gonna do is you kind of clean your brush, okay, and then kind of just one direction, kind of borrow that white color, kind of brushing, bring it out on the top, so that way you can kind of hiding that border. Okay, and then I'm going to do more orange, or you can do some yellow. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna try. Never haven't tried these kind of paint. See how you work. But the color is actually pretty much similar. This paint it actually is not ready to use. You kind of have to mix with the water first. So let me just grab a little bit gold. Well, if you find this part of a coloring is too boring, just fast forward it, because I actually received some of the comment in the email. You guys don't like me to fast forward the processing. You actually like to learn how I coloring. So, but some of you guys probably a fast learner, don't not really care about how to do the coloring. So if you find this part is a little bit too boring, just fast forward it. Okay, so I kind of use a gold color. Okay, again, pick up a little bit orange and the red. Okay, and then red. It's the same family, so I didn't clean my brushes. If you want to jump from the red to the purple or green, that case you got to clean your brush. Look at my gold, yellow, tulips. One more. This one I'm going to do the more white in the purple. Okay, Remember, if you use too much water, your color is going to be so thin, so it won't work well. Make sure water, but not too much, but have to be enough. Duh. Kind of hard to what? Okay, so that's my blue. I'm going to add a little bit purple in the bottom. You will find out if you don't have enough water, you it kind of looks weird. Okay. Oop, get a little bit dirty here. That's okay. I'm going to, oops. Let me just remove these. Some ink. Oops. That's no good. I'm going to just use. I'm going to put a B there. Okay, just be careful. Get a little bit extra powder there. So what I'm going to do is just wipe off. Okay, that will do. Okay, and then we're going to working on the green one. So I have two green colors. Always start with a lighter color first. This is my lighter color, and then that embossing is going to make your coloring much easier. And use a good fine tip brush. It definitely helps. Okay, let's do the light green first. Okay, very pretty. Continue. Here, continue. If you're missing some parts, okay. Okay, so that's the green standing area. Okay, and now we can go add a little bit darker green. Oh, you can add a little bit brown or purple. That will make your green darker. Like this. Ta-da! Look at the color. Isn't that nice? Okay, so for my first car, I kind of put a little bit highlight in the back. So this one, I don't think so. I'm going to do it. I'm not going to do it, but the gap, I am going to actually do a little bit. I mix the blue and the green. So I found out here is too much black. I'm going to just kind of color it. Okay, kind of just give it a little bit shadow. Ta-da! I think the color is really, really pretty. Okay, and then that's a move to the next. Okay, so that's the finished coloring, right? And be careful, don't touch it because those powder is not the permanent set yet. We have to seal it. So before I do that, I am going to add the background. So the background, we are going to use Versamark. And then I'm going to use this words background. Okay. And then I only need a little bit in this corner. So I'm going to just put on top like that. And then kind of just rubbing with my finger. Okay, and then you can see some script, right? And then next, I'm going to choose a color. I think the gold color will do. And then I'm going to have a fine, you need a soft brush. Okay, very soft one. And then I'm going to just kind of pick up a little bit powder, not too much. Okay, not too much, you only need a little bit. Okay, you can see the powder here, right? And then I'm kind of just drawing a little bit circle. The place that we're stamping with the Versa mark, the powder will stick. And be careful, don't put the powder on top of your tulips because I don't want the powder there. Okay, so let's just do a little bit more. Just a little bit. Okay, you don't need a lot. Okay, very pretty color. And I'm going to dump in the extra powder. And be careful, don't touch your flower yet. So now I'm going to kind of use my brush to brush the extra powder. Don't touch the flower because those flower is not settled yet. I think it's so pretty, isn't it? Okay, now I'm going to show you my secret weapon. Okay, we're gonna seal it. So you can buy those spray to seal the pastel or sketching. And I just found out this hairspray. It works just fine. So I'm gonna just seal it. Okay, once when you seal and actually smell good too, and make sure you need this kind of tip, not like what do you call this? Beauty hair air spray. The hairspray, those kind of nozzle, not like the water one. Okay, so this kind of compressed can bottle one, and they dry pretty fast, and also smell good. And then it's still a little bit wet, so that's how you seal it. I think it's so pretty. This one, the color is so much better than this one. And I really like this gold background finish. Okay, and then I am going to have my, how many and then I say in this video. So this is going to be my backing. See, after you seal with this hairspray, I really think the color is much better, and you can touch it. It doesn't really have any paint. You can seal one or two coat, and I found that after you spray it, the color is actually jump out more. So you can see I have some bee image I don't like it, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to cover with something. So I have a we always do butterfly, dragonfly. Actually, I found out I have one set. Is called the BZB. This BZB I designed in 2008, I think. It doesn't have a matching die cut, but I really like this bee, so I actually turned this set to the digital image. If you have a digital die cut machine, you can check it out. It's 50% off now. It's only $2.99. You get a whole set, and then my digital file is a little bit different. I actually include the offset area. See this white area? Because sometimes when the digital image, like this leg is very like a hairy, and then when your machine read and they you do the print and cut, right? So the quick cut is just add like a big black outline, and I have a problem to die cut those outline. They usually leave like a very thick outline. So when I design this digital image, I actually add this offset already. So when you die cut it, you don't have to do anything. You just print and cut. It doesn't show that black outline. It's kind of ugly. So this one I have a digital image, and because it doesn't have a die cut, but you can check it out. And I'm going to just put a few of these bees here, and I think it looks just awesome. Okay, so let me finish this. Ta-da! Oops. That's what it looks like. What do you think? I think it is so pretty. Even though I think you can have like a bigger size cardstock, you can actually use this kind of technique to build a piece of artwork and hang it somewhere. Instead of card, you can create some picture, just frame it. And then I know it's a spring, and then usually spring is full of the beautiful color, bright color. But I just found out this result looks actually is really pretty. Please give it a try. So today's video, and remember the first part is make your own guiding windows. So and then using kind of like a masking technique. So once when you create a guiding window, you have a negative and positive part, and you can use this one as the masking. So that's the first part. And the color with the mica powder, and the seal with or hairspray. And also give a try. If you have a digital die cut machine, give a try, or BZB digital set is only in $2.99. It's a 50% off. Regular price of $5.99. There is 5 images, and then look how pretty it is. But remember, our digital file is just a digital file. They are not come with the rubber stamp image. But if you are interested to purchase the BZB rubber stamp image, is or spring sale is start now, so make sure you take a look. So I'm going to stop right here, and I am going to continue the next video. The next video we are going to do some coloring. I'm going to share with you guys how to use the local kings metric markers to do the water coloring, and I am going to share with you how can we extending or stamp image, and also how to create a vest. So this vest is actually a die cut, and then I don't have the die cut this size. So what I do is I'm going to share with you how can we use some of the stamp that I already have. Like I'm going to use this jar from the Color of the Life set. I am going to make my jar a little bit shorter and make my flower a little bit taller. So it's just idea. If you have the same stamp set, use the stamp, create some project, have fun. If you don't have the stamp, it's no purchase necessary. Pick up the idea and try on your own. So if you like this video, make sure you give me a thumb up, leave me a comment, and let me know. And for our Orlando fan, would you like to see Lisa and Nadia come to Orlando in June? If you do, leave me a comment, let me know. We haven't decided to come to the show yet, because like now if you check Scrapbooking Expo or Heirloom, you can find out a lot of vendors, they are still not traveling to the show. If you like to see us in Orlando, leave me a comment, let me know. It definitely helping us to make a decision, come or don't come. Okay, so stay tuned for next video, and make sure a spring sale is start now. 20% off for all online order. For your or YouTube viewer, you always get this 5% extra discount. Make sure you use the local king YouTube 5 before you check out. All the free shipping for USA and Canada on orders over $100. So the shipping is getting so expensive, and we still keep the same price. Take opportunity for the free shipping. So this is Lisa from Local King Rubber Stand. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.